In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this cute beet drawing in Adobe Illustrator. This idea came from the Toots Plus website, and it's by an artist named Ivan Petrusevsky. Back to Illustrator. The first thing that I'm going to do is go to File, New, to create a new document. Out of all these choices up here at the top, this time I'm going to choose Web and choose Minimum, and I will name this Beet and put my name on it. Then click Create. Now I have a nice blank document. The first thing that I'm going to do is create the basic shape of the beet by using one of the shape tools. So over here in the toolbox is the rectangle tool. So I'll click and hold on the rectangle, and you can see that there are many other shape tools underneath it. So I will choose the ellipse tool. Right now my fill is white and the stroke is black. I'm going to go ahead and pop the black forward by clicking on it and choose None. Then I will click the fill forward and go over here to these swatches, click it to pop it open, and this has a limited number of choices, so I like to go to this side menu and open Swatch Library, Color Books, and a really good color book is Pantone Solid Coated. So here's all these beautiful colors, and I just clicked on the bottom and dragged it down so that I could see this wide variety of colors. So for this one, I'm going to choose a nice deep red color, and I'm going to click and drag a nice oval. Alright, now I'm going to make kind of the pointy part at the bottom of the beet by choosing the Direct Selection tool, which is the white arrow, and I will click directly on this little square down here at the bottom, which is called an anchor point. When I click on the anchor point, it reveals the handles on the side. Now what I'm going to do is hold down Alt and click right at this little tip of the handle where the blue dot is, and you can see also there's a plus sign. So I'm going to click this and drag it up, and you can see it makes that nice curve that mimics the bottom part of the beetroot. Now on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Click it and drag it up. I'm going to try to match it approximately. Looks good so far. Now I'm going to click this anchor point and hold down Shift and click this anchor point so I can select both of them at the same time. Now I'm going to click and drag to move that curve a little further up. Now I need to click on this middle anchor point, and I'm going to click and drag, and I'm being careful to click straight up. I don't want to drag it to the side this way or to the side this way. I just want to go straight up. And this is a little bit too rounded, so I will grab this handle here, and again I'm being careful to go straight across, not going up or going down, just nice and straight. And I'll do approximately the same thing on this side, and that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Alright, the next thing that I'm going to do is make the cute little contour lines that go at the top of the beet. If we look at this one, they look almost like hair or something on the beet. So let's see here. I am going to click off of the beet to deselect it, and with the ellipse tool I'm going to click and drag an oval, but I want the oval to have no fill, and I want the outside, the stroke, to have the color. So I'm going to pop the stroke forward, and I think I'll try this lighter red color to begin with, and then I'll make the fill come forward and choose None. And that looks a little bit small. That's 1 point, so I'll change it to 2 points. There we go. Now I am going to get the pen tool, click it and hold it, and choose the Delete Anchor Point tool. I'm going to delete this anchor point right here. So I'll click right on top of this square, and you'll see that it's kind of, with that anchor point deleted, it's a little bit flattened out on this side. So it's almost the shape that I want. Now I'm going to get the direct selection tool and click to see my handles, and I'll click and drag this handle and drag it in a little bit so I have kind of a teardrop shape. Alright, now with the selection tool, which is the black arrow, when I click that, it puts all these handles around the edges of the shape that I just drew. If I hover the cursor close to the edge, I get a little bent arrow, and then that is the rotate tool, which means I can click and drag to rotate this. Now I'm going to click right on the path to grab that and drag it where I want it. And it looks like I need to rotate it a little bit more. And it looks a little bit long, so I will click right on the path and squish it by clicking and dragging on the handle. And that looks pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to make another one. So ellipse tool, click and drag. This one will be a little bit shorter than the other one, so maybe I'll start right about there. Get the delete anchor point tool, delete the one on this side. Get the white arrow, which is the direct selection tool, click to reveal my handles and drag it so it's kind of a teardrop shape. Get the black arrow, move it over here, rotate it. Let's see, maybe rotate it a little bit more. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll make it just a smidge bigger. Alright, now I'm going to make the little middle decorative piece. This time I think I'm just going to click and drag it right on here. Something kind of like that. And I will click to the selection tool to click off of that. And I think it's, let's go back and look at the other one. Almost how I want it. I think this guy needs to be rotated slightly and moved down. Just a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is click right on the path to select the top one, hold down Shift and click on the second one, and then I'm going to copy and flip those over to this side. So I will go to Object, Transform, Reflect, and the default setting is vertical at 90 degrees, which happens to be what I want. If I click Preview, you can see what it will do. It will copy them and flip them. So I will make sure to click Copy, don't click OK, click Copy. Now with those selected, I'm just going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard, and I'm going to hold those down and scoot them over to the other side. And that looks pretty good. Okay, I need to move my beet down so I can have enough room to put the leaves at the top there. So I'm just going to take the selection tool, which is the black arrow, and draw a big box around everything, and then click it and move it down here. Alright, so let's choose a nice green color for the top of the beet. How about this one? So that's the fill, and for the stroke I want none, so I'll pop that forward and put on none. Get the ellipse tool, and I'll click and drag a nice narrow oval on there. Then I'll hold down Alt. Oops, I have to change tools. Get the black arrow, hold down Alt, and I can drag off a copy. This one I'm going to hover the cursor around the outside until I get the bendy arrow, and then I'm going to rotate it to the side. And something kind of like that. Now I'm going to go to Object, Transform, Reflect, and Copy. So now I have two of them, and I'll move it to this side. Let's see here. This one's not touching, so I'm going to move it over, click on it, and use the arrow keys on the keyboard to move it over. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is draw a box around all of those with the black arrow, which is the selection tool. And I'm going to use the Pathfinder by going to Window, Pathfinder. And I will choose the first option, which is Unite. So now, this used to be three separate shapes, but when I clicked Unite, it became one shape. So now I have to work on this bit down here at the bottom a little bit. I want to get rid of all of these interior anchor points. So I'm going to take the zoom tool and draw a box around this so I can see really clearly what I'm doing. I already have the delete anchor point tool selected from before. So I'm going to go in and click right on the blue square to get rid of it, click on it to get rid of it, and I think I'm going to click on these guys here too, the ones on the sides. Now I'm going to switch to the white arrow, which is the direct selection tool. Select the anchor point so I can see the handles, and I'll pull these out a little bit. Try to keep it straight. Now I'll push Control 0 on the keyboard. Yeah, looks pretty good. A little bit off center, so I'll line that up. Now all I need to do is draw the face. So I do want the eyes to be black. So here's black. And so because the stroke was forward, it went to the stroke, so I'm just going to flip that with the swapping arrow, and I'll put the stroke on none so I don't have a green line around that. Ellipse tool. If you click, as you're clicking and dragging, if you hold down Shift, it will constrain it to be a circle instead of an oval. This is not holding down Shift, but if I do hold down Shift, then it's forced to be a circle. There we go. And I'll switch to the selection tool. Hold down Alt and click and drag off a copy. I think I need to move this eye a little bit closer. Alright, there's my two eyes. Now I just need to make the mouth. So again with the ellipse tool, and I'll click and drag and hold down Shift to constrain it to be a circle. And I'm going to draw another one approximately the same size above it. So I'm clicking and dragging and holding down Shift at the same time. Then I'll use the selection tool to overlap these. So what I'm trying to do is get a crescent shape down here to be the mouth. So I'll draw a box around both of these to select it, and then choose from the Pathfinder panel minus front. And that's left me this cute little smile. So I'll put that smile on there. It's not quite the right size. There we go. So that's finished. So I will go to File, Save, and you should save it to the appropriate drive for your project. I'm going to cancel this. Your drives are different than my drives, so make sure that you save it to your drive and use the selection tool, the snipping tool, to get a screen capture of this and put it in your portfolio. That's all for now.